Okay, everyone shows how to use the Irig 2 for doing podcasts. I'm going to show you how to use the original Irig because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who still have this unit, and it works just fine in this application. So first off, I'm just going to hook everything up just to show you quickly, because I know people like to see how everything goes together first, and then we can babble later. So the first thing is we need, under where it says your headphones, I've got a 1/8 mono connection that goes in there. Normally it's stereo because of the headphone, but in this case it'll be mono. And the other end will be just a regular mono 1/4" jack. Now this will go into, and I have different channels, this will go into my microphone input for my 4th track here. Now the other end would be a regular instrument cable, just a 1/4" mono, and that will go into the effects send, and I'll explain after why that goes in there. And then the other end, of course, goes into where the instrument's showing in the Irig. So that's how it all gets hooked up, other than the actual obvious, the phone that gets hooked up here. And you're pretty much set to go. When someone calls, you're ready to do your podcast. A few more seconds, I will show you how everything and why it's all hooked up that way. Okay, now for the reasons why everything's hooked up the way it is. Okay, so the first thing is the headphone portion of the Irig, okay, is where you would normally hear things through your headphones. So obviously this is where the signal's coming out that you want to hear. So we want to take this and we want to get into the board. So normally these microphones is where these would be plugged in for these different channels. Now what I've done is I've taken the 4th channel and I'm going to be putting in the sound coming from the Irig into there. So that this here, when someone talks on the phone, I can adjust the levels. I can adjust my level on my microphones. I can adjust the level coming in from the phone, because what happens is I've got it all recording out from the board into, I've got a Zoom recorder into the line in. Yeah, you can use any type of recorder, but this is the one that I use. Okay, now moving to the other connection here, which is the instrument cable. Okay, this is the 1/4" cable going into the 1/4", and that is in my effects send. Now the effects send is run by these little red knobs here. I'm using the Behringer Q1202USB. Other boards will have similar connections. So what happens is, the reason why this is plugged in here is because when people talk on the other side of the phone to you, they'll experience slapback, which basically is there'll be a delay after they've been talking, and it'll just kind of loop. It'll just repeat themselves. So if they say hi, a few seconds later they'll hear hi that they've already said. So it kind of gets annoying for the person on the other side. So what this does is this eliminates that. This takes this channel. I've got all these 3 channels. At 12 o'clock, these are up, these are running. This one that I have hooked up for the phone, I've got it all the way down. Now, if I had it same as the others, what would happen is I would get that slap back. So when I turn this down, what happens is the person on the other end isn't getting their voice coming back to them. They're just getting ours. Because once everything goes on the board, if all 3 voices go back, the person talking, it'll also go back also. So that kind of gets annoying for them. So we turn this down, they'll just get our voices. So that's how it's all hooked up. If you have any questions or comments, definitely put them below. And if I can answer them, I will definitely try my best. Okay, thanks.